Hello and welcome to Odd Sock Comics. This is my new comic book day haul for Wednesday, June 19th, 2019. And this is going to be a really short video because there weren't a lot of books that I had to read this week. Now, there was only one book in my box, and that was Batman 73. And while the book was okay, honestly, the interior side, I kind of interesting twist in the story. It was worth the read, but man, this cover is fantastic. Ben Oliver. I think in my box I had the A cover, and I put it back immediately to grab this one because that's obviously a cool Batman cover. So I did read all of my books today. This one, it was okay. The problem with it is pretty minor, and that's that I don't think Batman does a single cool thing in this. Now he's got his back broken by Bane again in the last issue, which is, who would have guessed it? Or maybe this is supposed to be the original back breaking. I don't know exactly how this lines up with what's happened before, considering that there's some refreshing in the universe here. But what the only real cool stuff that happens is he's with his dad being dragged through the desert, and his dad beats up a bunch of guys. Sorry, it just knocked my tripod. But that's the only action sequence. Everything else is just it's trying to set his dad up and give his dad some characterization, singing "Home on the Range" and dragging a healing Bruce Wayne through the desert. That's about it. I mean, as cool as it sounds, I can see where it's going. Again, this is a story that probably could have been covered in 4 pages, and they stretched it out to a book. That seems to be the ongoing theme with Tom King. But, we know where it's coming to an end. We got 12 more issues, and that'll be just fine with me. All right, and the only other new book I got this week was Superman Year One. And I feel like I should have got the other cover. I think that one's going to be more desirable. I'm not a huge John Romita Jr. fan, and I'm assuming that's who did this cover. But interior story, the other Black Label books, Batman Damned, the interior art is just amazing. It's a work of art. It looks different than any other comic book out there. It would not work in a smaller form comic book. I don't think it would have worked nearly as well. This is obviously, it's a bigger form factor, but the interior, what they did with it, doesn't really need the full page. It's kind of, basic comic book art. There's nothing really spectacular about it. There's nothing special. There's nothing new. So, little bit of a waste on the, I kind of wish they would have done something a little bit more, I don't know, artistic with the interior. Now the story, these DC Black Labels, I think that they kind of gave the artists freedom to not tie into the canon, and so they get to develop their own story. And so this follows Superman's story through, high school basically. And there's a little bit that's kind of predictable. They shape the bullies in a very predictable way. I don't know. Maybe we need to have conversations about bullies. I think that we talk about them too much. I think that we frame everyone that's mean to us as bullies now, and I don't think that's a great framework. It's a little bit childish for something that's Black Label. It's supposed to be a little bit more adult oriented. This is a pretty childish view of what a bully is. Didn't really like that. And I'm not a huge Superman fan to begin with. So I'll probably still buy book 2 and see if they do something interesting with it when it comes out. But this isn't for me. Plain and simple. And I do think that the format makes no sense. They could have done this in a smaller format and been just fine. But, yeah, some people like it. I know that, and that's not a problem. All right, so I went and picked up 2 other books that I got this run. And the first one is the newest run of Daredevil. And I had, there was a copy of #1 at my shop. #2 was sold out, but I ordered a copy for less than cover price online, so that's coming through, plus shipping, so it ends up being like $5. But I think that this one's $5. So I got it for about cover price shipped. And so this one, I heard people say that this book was really good, and I think Daredevil is more of, on the Marvel side, he's more of the type of superhero that I like. And so I'm glad that I gave this one a shot. So I did read through this, and it is very, very, very good. Now, I was reading through it with my son, and it was a lot of fun because, like, when he saw, let's just go with one of the early pages. So when he saw this part right here, he gasped a little bit when he realized what was happening in that frame. That was really cool, to get that reaction from my son. And when he saw this, getting the sonar view of how Daredevil perceives the world, he loved that. And then we went through the little backstory at the end. I showed him that one too. But we went through this at the end. There's this. I mean, this is just amazing, and probably most people have either already read this or don't care about it. But this one, where it goes, this side is what a normal person would see, and then this side is the way that is trying to demonstrate the perception of Daredevil. So you're seeing the echoes, you're seeing how he sees things. Over here it would be a whisper, but Daredevil with his senses sees it as almost a yell. Very cool. And then this whole scene where on the normal perception side it's dark, but because he turned off the light, he hit the light with his baton, but then for the Daredevil perception, he can see it as if it's bright. Very, very cool. This is one of the best artistic ways, something that you could probably do this in film, flashing back and forth between the two types of perception, but I think that this works extremely well. Panel to panel, shot to shot is exactly identical, and showing it this way was just a very cool artistic choice, something that really fits with the comic book format. So I loved this, and like I said, my son just dug into it. He said he wants to keep reading Daredevil, so I'll read it with him. It is a fairly adult book, definitely teen plus, and there was a little section of it's a little bit before here, some stuff that I had to, he took a woman home at one point that I had to soften up a little bit for my 10-year-old, but no problem there. And then I got one other book, and this one I have not read yet. I will read it, but I got the Free Comic Book Day Vampirella. The Christopher Priest, I believe, wrote it, and I'm really excited about this. I'm excited that Christopher Priest is writing a character that's different. I know that at one point I read an interview with him where he was frustrated because he always got offered the same kind of typecast characters, if you know what I mean, and he didn't want to be stuck in that bucket. And so I think it's very cool that he gets to branch out. He's an excellent writer. I'm looking really forward to seeing what he does. I haven't read it yet, but I will, and then I know that issue number 2 has an awesome artwork cover. So that's it for this week. Really, really short, minor week. I have a few books coming in the mail that I'm very excited about, so I'll have some more stuff next week, but that was it. One new book from my pull list, one new book that wasn't on my list, and two back issues. What a minor week. The other thing that I did get was I picked up a new long box, which I haven't bought a new box for a long time because I've been selling almost as many as I'm buying of old ones that I bought a long time ago. But I finally kind of realized that I was getting stacks of books because I don't have enough space where they would go in my current series of boxes, so I bought another long box to give me some space to reorganize. That's always fun. I'll be doing that this weekend probably, which is always a fun time, one of the things that I look forward to. So thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed your comic books this week. Let me know what you got. Let me know if there's something I'm missing out on. Thanks.